Hello again everyone, Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be giving a natal chart overview of a fan of my videos. He decided to remain anonymous, so I'm just going to refer to him as a super fan of my astrology videos. So I'm going to start off by talking about the sun, moon, and ascendant combination. Now, with a Cancer sun, what you may want to attain is emotional security. With a Cancer moon, this may be done through something Cancer related, such as home caregiving, real estate, interior decoration, cooking, or restaurant work. Now, with the Sagittarius ascendant, this may be flavored with exuberance, enthusiasm, and optimism. Now, the Cancer-Sagittarius combination may also indicate that your home, which is connected with Cancer, may be one in which you decide safety and security. In Cancer again, may be in a foreign country, which is Sagittarius, at some point in time. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give the chart a pictorial look. I'm just going to try to see it a little bit better. Now, the thing is, you have a preponderance of planets on the top half of the chart, so you may be more extroverted than introverted, more objective as opposed to being subjective, and more optimistic than pessimistic. You likely prefer a public life as opposed to having a private one. Now, most of the planets fall on the right side or right half of the chart, so this indicates you may be someone that is more dependent as opposed to being independent. You may prefer to collaborate with others on projects and endeavors as opposed to doing them by yourself. Now, this doesn't mean you can't do anything by yourself. It just means you may prefer to do things with others as opposed to on your own. I mean, you have four planets. Four planets are on the left half of the chart, so I'm sure you are likely more than capable of doing things by yourself when necessary. And four of your planets fall in the third quadrant. And the third quadrant consists of houses 7, 8, and 9. So there may be much emphasis on your relationships, including the significant other, important friends, and intimate connections, and even expanding upon them. There may be more interactions with foreigners than most people. Four of your planets fall in the fourth quadrant, and that consists of houses 10, 11, and 12. So you may have a strong focus on group-related matters. You may be enamored with doing things to help many collectively as opposed to an individual. There may be an emphasis on global and environmental matters. You may be very goal and aspiration oriented. Now, with no planets in the first quadrant, which are houses 1, 2, and 3, it may be hard for anyone to say that you would be, say, self-centered or egocentric. You may not emphasize matters that much that are pertaining to the self. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't ever do anything for yourself, but it could simply mean that others' interests may often take precedence over your own. So, let's see, the next thing I'm going to look at, let's see, as far as your major astrological influences go. Well, most of your major astrological influences do fall in cardinal signs, so that could mean that you are likely in a hurry to initiate projects and endeavors. Now, you may not start many, you may start many projects, sometimes even simultaneously, but you may not finish all of them. You may be a person that is very action-oriented and have a strong desire to stay busy. You may have a strong aversion to being stagnant. Now, on the negative side, you may be overly, impulsive, impetuous, and impatient, and you may, embark on projects, too quickly at times without looking, at the possible, drawbacks or repercussions of them. Now, most of your major astrological influences fall in fire signs, so this could indicate great leadership prowess and ability. There may be a great desire to lead, as opposed to, being in a subordinate or subservient position. Even if you're, say if you're in a subordinate role, you may be someone that often leads by example, and you may be a person, that has, tremendous exuberance, enthusiasm, and passion. But on the negative side, you may also be someone that's overly, disputatious and easily agitated. There may be an argumentative streak at times. So now, next thing I'm going to talk about is your final or chart signature. Now, your chart signature is in Aries. Chart signature is determined by taking the majority of what someone has in quality and element in their chart and equating it to a zodiac sign. A final signature is supposed to give an overall tone or feel to the chart. However, I don't believe it supersedes the sun, moon, or ascendant in the impact it exerts on the chart. In your case, it may simply reinforce or reaffirm the existing Aries energy that is in it. Now, with an Aries final signature, you may be someone that is assertive, aggressive, direct, straightforward, courageous, and not readily discouraged. You may be a person that's pioneering. You may do things with little hesitation or procrastination. But however, on the negative side, you may be someone that can be overly outspoken, impatient, disputatious, and even provoked easily at times. Now, the chart ruler, which is the ruler of the first house, which is Jupiter in Aries, that falls in your fifth house, and this is the area or sector of life in which you may bring much of your Sagittarius rising energy into. You may bring much of that exuberant, enthusiastic, jovial, jocular, optimistic, and even philosophical Sagittarius rising energy into matters associated with love, romance, enjoyment, sports, games, hobbies, and even personal popularity. And with the ruler Jupiter being in Aries, now this may be flavored with aggression, assertiveness, impatience, impulsiveness, and courage as well. Now, another thing next thing I want to talk about is you have a singleton in your chart, okay? And that singleton in astrology, that happens and occurs when you have only one planet of a certain quality or element. So Mars in Taurus is your only planet in Earth, thus making it a singleton. Now, a singleton can be more prominent, pronounced, and stand out more in the chart. Mars in Taurus in the sixth house can manifest in tremendous drive and motivation in making money at the place of employment. And actions may be taken after pondering something for a prolonged time. And with this falling in your sixth house, they may often be connected with health and employment. And the fact that this is a singleton, again, it may be more pronounced and emphasized in your chart. Now, you do have a stellium in your chart, a 3-planet stellium in Cancer in your 8th house. Now, a stellium is a series of conjunctions that consist of at least 3 planets. The energy can be very intensified, it could be very concentrated and integrated. Stellium can form basically an astrological statement, and what starts out with the first planet ends with the final one. So in your case, what starts out with the moon, which is an emotional need, continues with the sun, and that is connected with drive and motivation, and ends with Saturn, which is about concentration and laborious work. And the fact this is in Cancer, this may be flavored with more dedication, devotion, care, and tenacity. It may also involve something Cancerian related, such as real estate, home improvement or renovation, interior home decoration, cooking, or restaurant work. And with this falling in the 8th house, it may involve a shared resources situation, such as a business partnership. And the 8th house is also connected with support, so it may be something where you may get the support when needed, or it could even come through a loan. You have a conjunction in your chart that involves Neptune and your Sagittarius ascendant. Now, by itself, the Neptune ascendant conjunction may be expressed in compassion, altruism, forgiveness, sacrifice, and idealism that may be readily expressed. And Neptune in Sagittarius may have prodigious dreams, and the conjunction to the ascendant suggests that this may be easily seen on a first impression. You may at times be a drifter, and someone that may like to meander and roam to different foreign countries. But at the same time, there may be physical related issues with the feet, toes, pineal gland, or lymphatic or immune system. As I'm sure you know, the ascendant is connected with the physical body, and Neptune is associated with the feet, the toes, the pineal gland, and the lymphatic and immune system. So the next thing, talk about another conjunction in your chart. Let's see, you have another conjunction with between Mars and Chiron, which falls in your 5th and 6th house. Now, by itself, the aspect can suggest very intensified energy in helping and healing others. And with Mars being in Taurus, this may be done in a very determined, persistent, methodical, and deliberate manner, even plotting manner. And with Chiron being in Aries, it may also be tied into identity issues and one's place in the world and in society. So you may help others in those matters. And with Mars falling in the 6th house and Chiron conjoining the 6th house cusp, it may involve assistance with one's employment. And Mars in Taurus may have physical related issues associated with the throat, the neck, the thyroid, or esophagus. And the conjunction to Chiron can suggest more suffering in this. And with the fact the part of the conjunction falls in the 6th house, it's either you have one of the planets, Mars, in the 6th house, and the other, and Chiron is conjunct the 6th house cusp. This can reaffirm and reinforce this being a health, but could very well be health related, and it also which could impact the employment. And with Chiron being in the 5th house, it may also factor in more to your fun, your amusement, and enjoyment as well. Well, anyway, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.